EPA midweek meteorologist Bobby Marchant here with your outlook for July 9th, 2024. It is Tuesday, and the Tuesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated. Summer weather is upon us, and that's pretty obvious. Outdoor activities and parties are now in full swing. Let Mark Damiani Painting spruce up your home to show off to friends and family when they come over. You'd be surprised what a new paint color can do to a home, whether you have wood siding, vinyl siding, or stucco. They can paint all of them to any color that you choose. And don't forget about those front doors, garage doors, and shutters either. Let them help you pick the latest modern colors and transfer your home into a new haven to hang out this summer. They are family owned and operated with over 40 years in business, so you can't go wrong with their exceptional attention to detail and great customer service. Servicing the Southeast PA counties of Montgomery, Bucks, and Chester. Call them now to schedule a free estimate at the phone number above me here in the video, 484-571-9233. They are Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated, proud sponsor of the Tuesday video forecast. So very, very hot and oppressively humid today. So this is going to be a very sultry day. Again, kind of like last Friday and Saturday, where we had those low to mid 70s dew points. And look at the temperatures above me here today, 93 to 98. That is insane. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with the worst that summer can throw at you with the combination of heat and humidity today. So make sure we're taking the usual precautionary steps to, if you have to be outdoors, to limit your time outdoors if you can. If you can't, then make sure you are in shaded areas or air conditioning where possible. Drink plenty of water, light color clothing. You guys know the deal by now. But this is not something you really get used to. You can get acclimated to 90s and whatnot, but when you start getting in this mid 90s plus, and then you're getting the humidity as high as it is, it's just unbearable. So here is, it's going to be like that the next 2 days, by the way. Next 2 days are going to be in that same boat with the humidity. Here is what is left of former Hurricane Beryl that made landfall just south of Houston in the wee hours of the morning yesterday. That has now moved up to, is now moving up to this position by the time we get to early afternoon on Tuesday. This, at this point, will be transitioning from a tropical depression, which is what it is now at the time I'm recording this video, to a post-tropical storm at that point. And that is going to be moving up to the north and east. Here's that center low pressure right here. It's going to be moving up in this area just like that, okay? So what that transition involves, going from the designation from a tropical depression to post-tropical depression, is this is now going from a warm core low pressure system, which is what a hurricane or tropical storm is, that originates over the tropical or subtropical waters, has a defined organized circulation, and it doesn't have any fronts attached to it. Okay, that's what a warm core low pressure system. The traditional low pressure system that we're all used to, that brings you rain, storms, that kind of thing, is a cold core system. Okay, so you have warmer air rising toward colder air aloft. This is a traditional setup here. So that transition is going from warm core to a cold core system. That's all that is. But when it does that, you can now start getting fronts and other features attached to it. Okay, you don't have that while it's still in tropical mode. Okay, so we don't have that yet. But as this moves off to the north and east, we will have some fronts developing with it. Initially, we'll have a warm front with this that's going to extend out from this low pressure, moving up in this direction. Your warm front is going to be situated like this, okay? And there is a semblance of a little bit of a cold front starting to get with this too, okay? That cold front is going to be what's moving through our area on Wednesday. Now, again, today, I don't think you're going to be dealing with precipitation largely. As I go back to today, I moved it ahead to Wednesday here for the discussion part of it. It might be a stray pop-up. See that right here? Just because it's so hot and humid, I don't want to put that, kind of like yesterday, we had a few random arbitrary 5-minute pop-up showers across the region. That is possible today, but 90% or better of the region won't see anything, okay? So it's just going to be something that just arbitrarily pops up in this hot, humid air mass today, and you can never trust dew points that are in the 70s because that can always happen even without a clear trigger mechanism here. But once we get into Wednesday, here is the remnants of Beryl and the warm front associated with it moving off to our north Wednesday morning. And that's going to be well off to the north at that point. So we're going to be warm sectored. Go figure, right? Because we've been hot anyway. There could be some prefrontal noise out here moving ahead of this eventual cold front that's going to now attach to this And again, this is not Beryl anymore, but this is a remnant post-tropical low at this point. So, but look what happens here as we get through the afternoon. You get this the center low pressure moving off to the north. There is going to be a cold front attached to this. Now, don't think of this like cold front, like, oh, it's going to get cool behind here. No, this has nothing to do with that. This is just a trigger. There's a lifting mechanism. So you can consider this kind of like a prefrontal trough, but it's the actual front. It is technically a cold front, but out ahead of it, you're going to have this line of storms that can move into at least central PA. And then as it weakens further east, because you're losing daylight here, it's going to weaken as you head further east. But there could be some pretty strong storms getting into parts of our western portions of our territory, especially by State College, Lock Haven, Williamsport, Selinsgrove, Harrisburg, maybe even Lebanon here. I don't know if they survive the northeast PA, but it's possible that parts, at least western portions of northeast PA, get into some of this. But it does look like it's going to be on a weakening trend heading east toward Lancaster and then eventually Lehigh Valley. And once it crosses the river, it's just a leftover whimper at this point, because that's coming in. By the time it gets to the eastern part of the state, it's almost midnight. So a little bit too late for taking advantage of any of the existing instability. But if you look at the sounding for this, ahead of that strong part of the line, and I'm talking about when it's out here. So this is a sounding out of Selinsgrove, and it does show, and I'll change this to a different color so I can show you, it does show a little bit of curvature here in the photograph, indicating there is some spin, some vertical shear involved here. We can see that here in the numbers. The shear numbers here are looking pretty good for some vertical shear here, with veering winds aloft from the southeast of the surface and aloft at southwest. So you get a little bit of a spin there, and you could have a tornado threat for those areas that would be along this line here. Tornadoes could be possible. And because this was once a tropical system that had spawned some tornadoes across the south, it won't take much for this kind of setup to really do it, even though it's no longer a tropical system at this point. So we're going to keep an eye on this, at least for our central PA counties, for the possibility of a tornado. And I wouldn't be surprised if a tornado watch is issued. Now, it's not a really good wind profile here for this, like straight line winds. It's heavy rain and storms with the chance for a tornado, basically, but not a lot of straight line winds with this, because again, we don't have a cold pull aloft really to tap into to get into some strong winds out of this. But there is that chance, of course, of a tornado, and you can see that here by the photograph with the curvature and the sounding there, and the shear values that are shown on here. So it's still very good numbers here for those areas. So we're going to keep an eye on that for Wednesday. Storm Prediction Center does not have anything for those areas at all. I had a marginal risk here associated with the warm front. In fairness, this is a day 3 outlook, but I think it's going to be more, this entire area of western New York is going to be part of this, but it's going to have to be something like this and everywhere west. Everywhere west of that line going out this way, and that includes these areas up here. They're going to have to go slight, maybe even an enhanced risk over western New York. These areas up here might be an enhanced closest to that tornado threat. But even down here in our area, in the western portions of our coverage area, I think we're going to have the opportunity for some stronger storms. So I wouldn't be surprised if they update this for the day 2 outlook, which will be released after I get this video uploaded. And that will probably have more of this area in at least a marginal risk, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to slight or even enhanced for some areas now that they know the low pressure track. Okay, so we're going to follow that here for Wednesday. Here's a line of storms moving across. Again, central PA is going to get the most, and it's going to kind of fizzle as it heads east. And then we get to Thursday. This boundary is not going to move all the way through, because again, it's not a cold push behind it, so it's not going to push all the way through. There's going to be, as this dissipates up here in New England, there's still going to be a kind of semblance of a front that's sitting back here like this, okay? And it's going to hang there for a couple of days. And then this high pressure to the east here that's going to be building and pushing west is actually going to push this frontal boundary back to the west as we get into Friday. So I think there's a better opportunity here on Friday of any day this week to see scattered showers and thunderstorms, and watch what this does here. There's not really much on Thursday, and I think it's going to be more isolated, mainly in our eastern areas close to the shore points for that to occur. But we get to Friday, look at how that backs up a little bit, okay? See, you get scattered showers and thunderstorms still in our eastern and southeastern areas, but it's backed up because this ridge out in the western Atlantic is flexing a little bit. And then Saturday, we still have this threat going for mainly our eastern areas, but we'll revisit this throughout the week and make sure that behaves. So I think it's going to be more isolated for areas west, but it looks like it's going to be on the move finally. And then that front will finally dissipate on Sunday, leading to much better conditions for the second half of the weekend. Now, it is going to be hot this weekend, and since Friday has the best chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms, will probably be our coolest temperatures this week. But coolest meaning like middle 80s, okay? It's not going to be cold by any means. We're not doing that. Taking a slight step back. After we peak here on Wednesday, once that front moves through Thursday, we're back in the upper 80s, mid 80s on Friday with more numerous scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially in those eastern areas. And then we start to rebound those temperatures here on Saturday, and then early next week, or Sunday, and then early next week, we're looking at temperatures getting back into the 90s again. So, like I told you in several of these videos I did here recently, everyone always asked me, is there any end to sight in all this pattern here where we're very hot and humid? The answer is no. I don't see anything in the next couple of weeks here where we have anything for a sustainable period that gets us into refreshing temperatures where you're in the upper 70s to low 80s and it's just low humidity. I don't see any situation like that in the next couple of weeks at all. As a matter of fact, we're probably going to have another heat wave as we get around the middle of the month. This is looking right now. So there'll be ups and downs. It's just a matter of how hot above average it is. It's either going to be near average or above, and how far above we getting. Okay, that's really the only question going forward. So we're going to pay attention here to the remnants of this as it moves through. Again, this isn't going to be much except for our central PA counties, it looks like, for the storms on Wednesday, and then we'll watch Friday. I think has the best chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms, at least in our eastern areas, which will be very beneficial. We can certainly use the rain and any break we get from the heat that is going to be dominating the headlines over the next couple of weeks. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for July 9th, 2024. Have a great Tuesday.